Hey guys, it's Mr. Gunter. It's so great to have you guys back on campus. This block, we're going to be talking about our campus and building safety procedures and some safety reminders that you guys all need to know moving forward. When it comes to campus safety, it really is all of our responsibilities from our faculty to our students as well. To make sure that we know our procedures, we have situational awareness to know what's going on around us, and that you know how to react and you know what's expected of you when it comes time for us to either practice our safety procedures or if there's an actual safety issue on campus. So let's start with some housekeeping items regarding just the upper school building and how we kind of do business when it comes to our safety procedures. So when it comes to entering the buildings, all students should enter the building through the main doors when arriving to school. That should be kind of easy for us with the construction going on campus. We're all parking on the west side as students. So when you arrive, you should walk up the stairs and come into the main entrance at the beginning of the day. If you arrive late to school, whether that is in the morning you're late or even in the afternoon, you must check in at the front desk at all times with Miss Wallace. The next thing is never let anyone into our building. I feel like this is something that we started to talk about last year, and you guys have all been great. But we have pushed hard as a campus to have all our visitors sign in at the SDC. They will receive a green lanyard if they're a visitor. If they're a sub, they'll get a gold lanyard. So with all that said, even if it's a parent you know at the door, do not let them in. We're trying to make sure everyone goes in and follows our procedures by checking in at the SDC. So please do not ever let anyone in our building. The next thing is never prop a door. I know that gets challenging sometimes. For those of you who have events after school, you need to run in and out of the building, but you will have a coach or a teacher or an instructor there who can let you in and out. If you see a door propped, please remove that and let the door lock. It's important for our campus and building security that we keep our doors locked at all times. So do not prop a door. Also, no food service deliveries. So no Uber Eats, no any type of service to have food delivered to campus, whether you're, during the day or even if you're talking to your advisor about that, let your advisor handle all those things. No food service deliveries at school. All right, now let's jump into our actual safety protocols. So what you see in front of you here are our 5 safety procedures, and they have one word for each. And when you leave this video today, I really want you to be able to know the language that we use for each one and what it means. So if we're practicing or if we're having to actually perform one of these, you'll know exactly what your responsibility is during that time. So our 5 safety directives are hold, secure, lockdown, evacuate, and shelter. So let's jump in and starting with hold. So there are going to be situations that could require students and staff to remain in their classroom or stay put, whether it's a medical issue or a maintenance issue. There will be a public address announcement that says hold in your room or area, clear the halls. So this is called a hold. And what you need to do as a student is to just know that wherever you are, you just need to stay put. Doesn't mean that there's any type of threat on campus. It could be, like we said, a student medical issue in a certain hallway, and we just need everybody to stay put. If we do have a hold or if we practice a hold, there will come a notification on the screen in your room. And I want you to see that so you know the difference between a drill and a real hold. On the left side of your screen, you see the drill hold notification. It's grayed out in the background and it says drill on it. On the right side, you see the actual hold notification so that you can get used to seeing the difference between if we're in a drill or if you see the actual color pop on the screen with the word hold on it. Once we're all clear of a situation, you'll see this notification pop up on the screen that says you may return to your normal schedule. You'll also get an announcement over the intercom that allows us to go back to our normal schedule as well. Looking at your actual responsibilities during a hold, though, the big thing is students and teachers will remain in their classroom, and we will not go for a bell that dismisses us until the hold is released, right? So let's say that we're in the middle of class, we go on hold because there's a student who needs medical attention, the bell rings, we all stay put until we're given the all clear, all right? If you're off campus and there's a hold, we will send a remind message out with further instructions for you. But the good news is if we have a hold, class is going on as normal inside that classroom. We're just not moving until the hold is lifted. All right. The next directive is secure. A secure action is called when there could be a threat or a hazard outside the building. So the secure action demands that we should bring people into the building and that everybody should be inside. And that our doors will be locked on the outside, but inside we're moving on as normal. This could be criminal activity in a nearby neighborhood or in a nearby location. The public address would come over the intercom and say, secure, get inside, lock outside the doors. Um, the actions for you during this time, students will return inside the building and then we'll go about business as usual. The good news is our building operates on secure all day. It's always locked. The difference is if we were to go on secure, it means no going outside the building, and everybody outside should come inside. If we're on a secure, we will, I want all of us to have that inclined situational awareness, just to think, okay, if danger were to come this way, what would be our next steps? But during this time, you will be inside the building. We will send a remind out that would tell you, hey, don't come back on campus at this time because we have a secure right now. And then teachers will go on with class as normal, right? And we'll move throughout the class. We'll move throughout the building as normal, I should say, as well. We will follow our regular bell schedule. The next directive is lockdown. And it's important that we know a lockdown is one situation and one situation only, and that is that there's an active threat on our campus, and we all need to get behind a locked door in that exact moment, okay? The public address would be locked down, locks, lights, out of sight. The actions for you are really straightforward. You're going to move away from sight. You're going to maintain silence during that time. You won't open the door for any reason, and you'll listen to your teacher for any directives that they give you. If you're in the hallway and we have to go on lockdown, you'll get to the nearest classroom or nearest room you can to get behind a locked door as soon as possible. Also, your teachers will be needing to take attendance during this time, so that it's important that you guys maintain silence and do exactly what they say. One more time, just wanted you to see the difference on the notification on the screens. On the left side, you would see a drill lockdown notification, because we will practice this year, as we always have. And then on the right side, you would see the notification if we were in a real lockdown scenario. So you get comfortable just seeing the difference on the screen with the notification system between a drill and an actual lockdown. Our next directive is evacuate, okay? And evacuate would be called when we need to evacuate or remove ourselves from the building. Most of the time, this would be in a fire alarm situation. The public address could come over and say evacuate to a location, or simply the fire alarm signifies an evacuate. There are some important updates with evacuate. One more time, you see the difference here between a drill on the left side and then an actual evacuate notification on the right side. But we know that we practiced this last year, but if we hear a fire alarm go off, we do not immediately evacuate our building, right? If we hear the fire alarm go off, we'll stop, okay? The teacher will go to the door and listen for any sounds, and you can listen for any sounds as well of danger. If we don't hear sounds of danger, we'll stay put until your teacher or we come over the intercom and release you to evacuate. If you did hear sounds of danger while the fire alarm was going off, you and your teacher would prepare to go on lockdown in your room. But once we come over the intercom and say you're clear to evacuate, this is important. You really need to remain quiet during that time. Your teacher has responsibilities during that time to take attendance and get you to a certain location. So students should remain quiet. They should leave their stuff behind unless directed otherwise, and they'll follow their teacher to their evacuation location. Every classroom has a specific place on campus that they'll go. So it's important that you go with your teacher to that location. They'll take attendance when they get there, and you'll stay there until you're given the all clear to go back in the building. Our last directive is shelter. You can think of shelter as a weather drill scenario or a severe weather scenario where you need to take shelter. Shelter is going to be called when there's a specific protective action that's going to be needed based on a threat or any hazard. The public address would come over the intercom. It would say shelter for whatever specific event. In this case, shelter for a tornado. Go to your shelter location. One more time, you can see the difference in the notification systems between a drill, which is in the gray. On the left, it says drill shelter. On the right, that would be the notification that would come on the screen if we were having a real severe weather situation where we needed the shelter. And then here's the all clear that would come up on the screen once we would be all clear to return to business as usual. Let's look at your actions for shelter. The teacher will lead their class to their shelter area. You'll see a map posted inside of every room right beside the exit door. It gives the exact shelter location for every room. All our shelter locations are located on the first and the second floor. So I would advise you guys to take a look at that map so you know where your class would be going during that type of shelter situation. Once again, it's super important that you as a student remain quiet during this time and allow your teacher to give directives about where to go. And once they get there, they have to take attendance. And so it's really important that you guys do your part and stay quiet during that time. And you'll remain in that shelter location until given the all clear. So in conclusion, those are our 5 directives, right? I would like to just end by saying, it's all of our responsibility when it comes to our campus and our building safety. I want to encourage you guys to be great listeners. Okay. If you see something, say something. If something feels off in your gut and you go, hey, this doesn't look right. I heard something that doesn't sound right. I encourage you to immediately go talk to whoever a safe adult is to you, whether that is your parent, whether that is a teacher, whether that's an administrator. I hope that's me, so that anybody can come and let me know anything that you've seen or anything that you're concerned about so that we can work as a team to resolve it. Be aware of your surroundings, right? And then think about those 5 safety procedures so that you know exactly what to do when any of those times come. All right, guys. So glad you're back. Have a great day.